Intamin, during an announcement video before the IAAPA Expo in Orlando this week, which was released on their social media channels and YouTube, has revealed a brand new ride concept that they are due to display at the Expo from the 18th of November. Originally, people felt this video, which was teased a few weeks ago, could be directly related to the Universal Studios Florida's new roller coaster, also being manufactured by Intamin, that is set to replace Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit in the studio's park. This ended up being, as many did suggest later on, was not the case. However, could this announcement today actually still be related to this future development at Universal? Join me in today's video as I explain why I think, even though it doesn't directly announce what IP or specific roller coaster type the replacement for Rip Ride Rockit will be, could this still be giving us a subtle clue? In this video released by Intamin, they have unveiled a partnership with EFT Ride Systems, another ride manufacturer whose ride credits include Da Vinci Flight in Europa Park, Germany, La Aventura de Scooby-Doo in Park Warner Madrid in Spain, and the Kingdom Quest at multiple Legoland Discovery Centres across the world, just to name a couple. The two companies have announced in this video a new ride system called the Multi-Dimension Mover. A new ride which is a trackless dark ride which can drift, do 360-degree motion, launch, drop and interact with the environment and the other ride vehicles. It does look an impressive ride system, so here is a bit of that video for you guys to see with those involved from Intamin and EFT Ride Systems explaining what this new ride experience will be.
Hi everyone, I'm Lucas Wildiener, Chief Commercial Officer and proud member of the ownership family of Intamin Amusement Rides. Thanks for tuning in to our annual YouTube premiere. We have some exciting things to show you today and I'm really looking forward to it. This year has been exciting for us in many ways. For one, we've been working on and starting to complete some of the biggest projects in our company's history, so we're really looking forward to opening those new rides for all of you. In the meantime though, our team has also been working on some innovative ride concepts to push the boundaries even further. One of these I'm really excited to share with you today. But first, let me introduce one of our good friends from the Netherlands. Hi Jos, and welcome to our YouTube premiere.
Hi Lucas. Hello to everyone watching. I am Jos Sloesen, Chief Sales Officer at ETF Ride Systems. It's an absolute pleasure to be part of this year's Intamin's YouTube premiere. ETF brings 75 years of experience, beginning with industrial automation and for the past 25 years leading the way in trackless dark ride systems. In 2024, our journey reached a new high with the launch of the Dynamic Mover, a breakthrough ride system that's now the benchmark for flexibility and immersive attractions. We are proud to keep pushing the boundaries of dark ride technology while staying true to our independent and family-driven spirit. It's this shared passion for innovation that led us, together with Intamin, to combine our strengths and bring the Dynamic Mover into another level. Or should I say, another dimension.
The Multi-Dimension Mover is a hybrid trackless dark ride system. It combines the agility and trackless capabilities of ETF's Dynamic Mover together with Intamin's launch technology and Intamin's multi-dimension elements, which you might have already heard of from our multi-dimension coasters. The ride system includes most of ETF Dynamic Mover's features: wireless navigation, interactive gamification, electric power on board, and of course customizable theming fit to every storyline. The omnidirectional movements together with limitless cabin rotation delivers a dynamic and fully customizable ride experience featuring, for example, turning on the spot or even drifting maneuvers and much more, of course. Then the vehicle can also switch from the trackless to a launch section where we can accelerate using Intamin's propulsion technology up to 36 kilometers per hour or 7 times faster than the traditional dark ride vehicle. Finally, the cherry on the top is the possibility to include Intamin's multi-dimension elements into the ride, such as the bungee drop, the drop sections, or much more. Lastly, we're really looking forward to showcase to you a highly anticipated new ride vehicle at our booth at IAAPA Expo in Orlando this year.
So as you can see, it looks a very impressive ride system. But you may already be asking, why am I speculating this has anything to do with Rip Ride Rockit's replacement at Universal Studios Florida? It's not a roller coaster. This new ride system is a dark ride and is clearly shown as one, and we already know there is a new roller coaster replacing Rip Ride Rockit. After watching this video from Intamin, I think this announcement video could have everything to do with this ongoing project, so let me explain. Firstly, right now we are yet to still know anything official from Universal about this new project in their Orlando studio park. Even as recent as the last 2 weeks, it has been shown by BioReconstruct online with great aerial photos that footings are being poured and put into place for this new roller coaster, and the previous roller coaster is completely now demolished with no signs left of its previous existence, with many expecting this new coaster to open in 2027. Yet, amongst theme park fans for months now since the closure of Rip Ride Rockit, there has been 3 consistent IPs that have been heavily linked to this new roller coaster project, and these are Fast and Furious, Ghostbusters, and Back to the Future. Now, many are aware there is already a Fast and Furious ride in the park, Fast and Furious Supercharge, but over in California, Universal Hollywood is building what many are saying is the first true Fast and Furious theme park attraction anywhere in the world, with Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift, which is also being manufactured by Intamin, a new drift coaster system which is due to open next year in 2026. Many think with Intamin listed as the manufacturer for this new roller coaster in Universal Studios Florida, could we simply see a copy of this drift coaster also be brought to the Orlando resort, with some dubbing it already as Fast and Furious Orlando Drift, thus seeing the closure of also the Fast and Furious Supercharge attraction? This is quite a reasonable possibility, but what if I tell you today's announcement from Intamin could actually be for a brand new type of Fast and Furious ride? Something totally unique for Orlando and a totally different experience for Fast and Furious fans to what will be on offer in Hollywood once it opens next year. One possibility, maybe this video has revealed that Fast and Furious won't be the theme for this new Rockit replacement, and instead we are seeing for the first time the new ride system that will replace Fast and Furious Supercharged. Think about it. Supercharge is a huge building in that park that only opened a few years ago, back in 2018. So you would think Universal will want to utilise as much of that as they possibly can with any replacement. Now, I do not know how much space will be required for one of these new multi-dimension move ride systems, but looking at this video, can we all agree at the ride vehicles in this announcement video, especially the one that looks like a car, could quite easily become a supercar like we see in the Fast and Furious movies, and looks like we could have multiple cars going alongside a trackless ride system also at the same time, with the possibility of launches, drops and interaction. This seems to me that it would be a fitting and better representation for this franchise than anything we have seen before. I've also felt for a long time that Test Track in Epcot and that ride system that Disney used would be a perfect fit for Fast and Furious, but I know this must have some sort of exclusivity with the Disney company, as it is not seen anywhere else as far as I'm aware. But now with this announcement from Intamin, who have a strong partnership with Universal, Could have they potentially developed this ride system as their own answer to Disney's version of a car-based ride attraction? And what better franchise to use this than the Fast and Furious franchise, which for many years has been, in my opinion, crying out for something like this exact ride system. Likewise, Ghostbusters could also easily fit with this new multi-dimension mover system, and especially think with the option of interactivity with the environment as well as the other cars, it clearly gives Universal plenty of options to create a great attraction based on this franchise, with interaction with ghosts and maybe even fitting the ride vehicles with a proton packs, and these can be used by riders to catch ghosts along the ride experience, which will be trackless and can go in any direction, launch and drop at any time. Back to the Future is obviously another option, but honestly, out of all three of these franchises, it is the least, I think, of the film franchise I could see being used for this new ride system from Intamin and EFT. Just because purely beyond the launch possibility, I can't see much else of what this ride system can do that makes it fit with the Back to the Future franchise, and I think it certainly fits much better with either Fast and Furious or Ghostbusters. So this now leads me back to my original point. Thinking what I have just said, let's say this new ride system will replace Supercharge, and that's a certainty, and use its infrastructure to house a multi-dimensional mover themed to Fast and Furious, and keep that franchise there in the park, or ditch it and move to a Ghostbusters themed attraction in San Francisco, could free up a return for Back to the Future as the theme for this new roller coaster that is being built to replace Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit in the New York area of the park. However, I do still have a couple of reasons why I don't think Back to the Future will be used for this attraction. Firstly, without some major storytelling to explain why Back to the Future is suddenly in the New York area of the park and not in a Hill Valley themed area, to me, it just does not fit that IP for where it's going to be in the park. Secondly, it is heavily speculated that a roller coaster themed to Back to the Future will be coming along with a Hill Valley Courthouse Square to the Universal UK Resort, which is opening in 2031. A big ethos that has been made clear by Universal Destinations and Experiences for this resort is to not cannibalise their UK visitor numbers to the Orlando parks. So even if not exactly the same, a Back to the Future roller coaster in both Orlando and the UK would affect this statement, in my opinion, and more so, it would stop American visitors having a major reason to come to the Universal UK Resort if this was instead the only place in the world they could go back onto a Back to the Future theme park attraction. That could be a major factor and being a huge plus for the UK resort if they kept that exclusive for that resort, but we'll have to wait and see on this one if it is ever confirmed that Back to the Future will be a themed attraction or roller coaster at the UK resort. And thirdly, I've been a strong believer that if the Back to the Future was to return to the Universal resorts, I'd either put it back where it left almost 20 years ago, where The Simpsons currently is, and have a new updated version of Back to the Future, or it would be a popular replacement for the very unpopular Fast and Furious Supercharged attraction itself. Therefore, with that all being said, it leaves us with two remaining options based on what I have just said: Fast and Furious or Ghostbusters. Which one will replace Rip Ride Rockit? Now, based on this announcement today from Intamin and EFT Ride Systems, I am the most sure I have been in this whole process following this project on what I think Universal's plan is. Ghostbusters will be the theme for the Rip Ride Rockit replacement, and Fast and Furious will return bigger and much better than before, where it currently sits as Fast and Furious Supercharged, but instead be replaced with the multi-dimension mover ride system. This is based on the following factors that I have in mind. Firstly, both themes fit with their locations. Fast and Furious Supercharged in Orlando, if you pay attention, had a San Francisco city backdrop, whilst their version of it in Hollywood on the studio tram tour had a Los Angeles backdrop. Therefore, Universal made this subtle adjustment so that it would nicely fit in the existing land at the studio's park of San Francisco, which used to once upon a time host both the earthquake and the disaster attractions, which closed years prior. So the franchise is already established in this area of the park and could easily remain there. Likewise, Ghostbusters is mostly famous for being based in New York, and there is still a firehouse which was the original entrance to Ghostbusters Spooktacular until it closed in 1996 in the park and in the New York area. It never went away and was even used as an element of Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit that many fans, I'm sure, will still remember. Plus, according to the plans for the coaster, the ride station building is due to be in this area behind the firehouse. So this being used as the attraction entrance once more would make a lot of sense. This would allow also a really cool coaster to be themed to Ghostbusters, whilst the multi-dimension mover can give Universal a true rival to Test Track at Walt Disney World in Epcot, even more so if it is themed to Fast and Furious, which is one of their biggest franchises, which compared also to Ghostbusters, I think is still more well known worldwide and more popular among film fans. Keeping Fast and Furious as well at the supercharged site would also come up with some unique advantages. Except for the ride itself, the rest could just stay the same. Nothing is stopping Universal from keeping the same ride name of Supercharged and using this new ride system to give it finally justice to what people expect from this ride experience. So they could keep the graffiti sign on the front of the building, keep a lot of the elements of the queue and even the layout, the props and all the display cars, the pre-show, all of it, and just literally tweak it, and then riders just board a new ride system and have a completely new ride experience. This would be, in my opinion, a really cool way for Universal to bring back Fast and Furious properly to the Orlando resort, and also help Universal both save money and preserve what they have already recently created for the Fast and Furious franchise, and just need to change the storyline on the TV screens and in the pre-show to better whatever this new experience would be. So there you go. This is what I think Universal is planning after today's announcement video from Intamin, especially after getting to see this new ride system, knowing their long-standing partnership with Intamin, and in more recent years how well that has gone for both companies with the likes of Hagrid's and Velocicoaster. Plus, what a better way for Intamin and EFT Ride Systems to show off this first of its kind ride system actually in a park than having it finally given justice in a theme park attraction to the popular Fast and Furious franchise, while also giving fans of the rejuvenated Ghostbusters franchise also a thrilling roller coaster ride experience based on that franchise. In my opinion, I think this is the best possible plan for Universal now knowing of this new ride system available from Intamin, and that these would be the best way round for the franchises of what they would be for the future of the studio's park and how they'll be represented, with Ghostbusters being the coaster and Fast and Furious being this unique multi-dimensional mover ride system. And like I said prior, not forgetting Back to the Future, their purpose in this plan could be to either be a replacement for the Simpsons ride, which would likely happen later on down the line, or it more likely to be an exclusive to Universal UK Resort to help drive US fans away from the domestic parks and force them to travel over to the new UK resort when it opens in 2031. So let me know in the comments all, do you agree with my suggestions and my thoughts on this potential plan that I've come up with since today's announcement with this new ride system? What do you also think of this new ride system, this multi-dimensional mover ride system? Do you like it? Are you excited by it? Are you looking forward to maybe seeing some more about it at IAAPA Expo later on this week? And of course, based on all that I've said in this video, what do you think will be the Rockit replacement IP? Do you agree with me and think that it could be Ghostbusters with Fast and Furious staying where it is with a new ride system? Do you still think that the coaster's going to be an Orlando version of the Hollywood Drift and bring Fast and Furious as the coaster there? Do you still firmly believe they're going to bring Back to the Future as this roller coaster? Or is there something that nobody's talking about and you're going to comment and say there's something completely different that nobody's mentioning? Let me know in the comments exactly what you guys think. So also, if you like this video, please hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe and hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss another one of our videos. And with all that being said, I've got one last thing to say to you all. Go out there and live life the smart way. Thank you guys for listening and watching. See you in the next one.